The Last Crossing is a story of love and loss. It's a story of labor migration in the Middle East, a story that isn't often told in fiction. It tells the story of a man named Mukhtar, an architect, who goes to work in Oman to earn enough money to get married. But when Mukhtar gets to Oman, he finds he's been tricked, and he ends up being a common laborer, and then having to go on the run from one job to another as an illegal migrant. So it's a story of his sufferings as well as the suffering of the woman he left behind. I chose this novel first and foremost for the subject. For the last 70 years, the Middle East has been profoundly shaped by labor flows, by people moving from one part to the other to work, especially men. And that has shaped the region politically, economically, socially, and religiously. This is one such story which brings that larger phenomenon to life. Among the challenges in translating the novel The Last Crossing were its language. The author is a poet, and her language is very poetic, and that's the hardest kind of language to translate because it works very well in the original language, but it may not work as well in English. And so my biggest challenge was to find a way to reflect the beauty and the flow of the original while making it also readable and understandable in English. This cold roof shows us no mercy in winter. It is not content merely to lash our bodies with cold draughts, but conspires with every drop of the rain we would normally welcome, turning us into fugitives who huddle together to escape it as it joins the roof in mocking us. The more the rain pours down, the louder the roof cackles, and the more buckets we place to catch the raindrops defying the roof's feeble efforts at resistance. Last winter was particularly harsh. Not only was it cold, but it rained so much that the floor of our building was transformed into a sandbar by runoff from the unfinished building, whose fragile foundations we had not yet reinforced. I remember how we awoke one morning to find muddy water streaming beneath us, forcing us to replace our mattresses later on. As we repaired our room, how we rejoiced when we found a tiny plant pushing its way up through the muddy floor.